everybody, welcome back to When a Gay Girl Meets a Trans Girl. This is Holly.
And this is Brooklyn. Thank you for joining us.
I am the gay girl, and she is...
I'm the trans girl, right?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure I am.
Well, today we actually wanted to talk about who wears the pants in the relationship, since that's usually the first question when you see a gay couple, and then I expect a lot of people ask it when they see a gay couple that comprises of a cis girl and a trans girl.
That's true. That's something that I have personally been asked, who is what they call the guy, which is kind of a... I don't like it when it's being said like that, but they will say, like, who is the guy in the relationship and who is the girl? And I'm like, we're both the girls. I don't know, like, what you mean by that, but I think they're trying to say, like, what you're wanting to get at. Like,
I mean, okay, so here's how it is. She's very girly to the point where she wears makeup and takes hours to put it on.
Yes.
And I'm to the point where I'm like, here's some foundation, here's some mascara, let's go. It takes me like 10 minutes.
she doesn't even always put it on. She, like, grabs, like, a little sponge and she, like, dabs a little bit on the sponge. And she'll put a little bit on her face to look real quick and she'll be like, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Holly.
She's the kind of person you need to tell something is going to be an hour earlier. Like, just be like, hey, it's actually at 7. And then she'll think it's at 7. But then when it's taken her a while, you be all like, okay, it's actually at 8. And then she'll be like, oh, we're on time. And I'm like, yeah.
Right. And she's the kind of person that when you're like, oh, let's go to some fancy dinner and doll up, you have to tell her what doll up means.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, like I said, she'll dab a little bit of foundation on and she'll go. And it's not that she's not beautiful to me, but you do want someone to doll up and look, you know, have a romantic evening and both of you just dolled up and, like, look beautiful. And she's sticking her tongue out at me now. You should see this, like, how horrible. This is mean.
She literally had to teach me when I was 30 years old how to put makeup.
What eyeliner was.
And she had only known how to do it for a couple years, did not grow up doing it, and me, I grew up, had the opportunity to do it, but I wasn't about that lifestyle.
That's okay. She picked it up. She does eyeliner now. She does mascara. She does foundation. Still no blush, but she does do her brows a little bit. She, for our wedding, she got her brows done for the very first time. So, and she was like, I don't know if I want to do that again. And I'm like, whatever, that's fine. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. And then I'm not huge into wearing dresses and skirts. You'll catch me every maybe blue moon. I'll have like a skirt or a dress on. So, literally, I am the pants wearer.
And I am literally the dress or skirt wearer. And I don't know. I mean, there might be certain aspects where maybe you could say I wore the pants. Certain aspects, I think most of the time, I think maybe you might be the one that's considered to be the one with the pants on. Wearing the pants, right?
I mean, I don't know, it's kind of hard. Like, when it comes to, like, actual man labor, we kind of split that. Like, I'm the one that mows weekly, and she does the laundry weekly. But when it comes to fixing cars, that's more my forte. But when it comes to doing, like, house things, like fixing the fence or checking a fuse or something, that's more Brooklyn's forte. And she's really good at doing the tile.
Oh, yeah. And she's really good at repairing the vehicles. She ended up replacing the alternator in my vehicle. Was that over winter, or that was over summer, right? It was really hot outside. I remember that.
And it was, I don't know, the YouTube video, of course, was maybe 10 minutes, and for us was an all day, all night ordeal, because I was out there struggling with my tiny muscles to unscrew something. And yes, Brooklyn is still a bit naturally stronger, but she did work out and she has a very active job. So when she came out and helped me, I'm a very petite woman, so she quickly got something done that I was struggling with dear
She's
life.
tiny, Holly.
Yeah.
I remember leaving to go to AutoZone to get a part that she needed, and she was like, "Okay, I'm gonna get this off. When you get back, I can do this." And I was like, "Okay." And I ended up driving back, and she was sitting there like, like sitting there pushing on it, and what are you
She
doing?
she did have to struggle a little bit though. She did have to make some grunny noises and do it for
Not
a
like
little,
yours.
but
Your
not for
Her
hours.
grunting noises are pretty hilarious. She's kind of
A
like
little
I said,
piggy.
she does that. She's like, eh,
No.
and then you're like, what is wrong? She's like, I can't get this. And I go over there. I'm like, there we go. And you're like, really?
It was so awful. But we got it fixed, thank God.
Yes, it was. I think the very first time I ever did an alternator, and it was with Miss Holly over here.
It was my first time too, but like I used to be like an electrician in the military, so I don't know. Mechanical things kind of come naturally to my mind. But for her, like I'm not good at like measuring and cutting. Like with wires, yes, you kind of eyeball it, but like when it comes to carpentry, Brooklyn's really good at that. Like she made shelves for the two older boys a few months ago and they looked really good.
Yeah, yeah. For my oldest son, he had a Star Trek ship collection, um, which the company that does it went out of business, unfortunately. But he ended up getting like somewhere close to like 50 or 60 ships.
What was the company? Just in case anybody on our fan base might be
Oh
have used
goodness,
them.
I I I already cannot remember. But they are no longer around anyway,
Uh,
which is too bad. I know Paramount actually had an article where they were a little bit disappointed that they couldn't see that um, that model company continue to go on, but that's okay. There's going to be others. There will be other ships. There will be other models out there and other collections, and I don't see Star Trek being as something that falls apart. But
hmm.
regardless, so
We always manage to tie it back to something nerdy or Star Trekky.
Star Trekky.
Yeah,
When it comes to Star Trek, I wear the pants. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. The pip. I got the pips.
But you wear them definitely when it comes to anime.
Pip, lock, and drop it.
You dropping your pants?
No, pip, lock, and drop.
I have no idea what that is. Is that outside of my age?
It's that one song where they're like something lock and drop it. Okay. I don't remember what it was. It was that one song. Yep. Don't remember.
And I don't either. uh,
My laugh is awful, sorry. She makes fun of it all the time.
it's cute. It's like. Yeah, that was not an actual laugh. That was me making fun of her laugh. That's her actual laugh. There you go.
No.
It's hilarious.
No. But anyway, so we digress. Some other aspects. We kind of share the house cleaning. I actually do have fun cleaning though. For me, it's a stress reliever. Like I like seeing things clean. It makes me happy. I'm that sim. If you ever played The Sims, that if I am dirty, I'm not happy and I get super grumpy. Like I actually get grumpy if the house is really dirty. And I don't know. We both split the cleaning, but I think I'm kind of more the one that gets a little bit more detailed with the cleaning. Like I actually get on my hands and knees and do the trimming around like the walls often.
I don't know. I like to have a clean house. I think it's more of a mood thing. Um, I'm someone that gets more of the it's happy, clean time feeling and everything when I got music on and
You are. You do it when you're happy, but if you're not happy, you do not clean. Me, I do it out of like objective, like, we got to get this done, or I've had a really long day at work. I'm just going to do some cleaning so I can look at a nice clean counter and feel better. Thank you.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I guess that's definitely where you wear the pants because I'm not much of a
Oh, no, no.
cleaner.
I wouldn't be the one that wears the pants if I'm cleaning because that's more of a, quote, housewife job. quote, because now there are also house husbands.
Hmm. True.
I actually have a few friends that are house husbands. So, let's see, other pants things. Well, let's say finances. When it comes to finances, it's not really a pants thing because different cultures I've read, I don't know how to sound pretentious with this, but I don't know, like in Japan, the woman is in charge of the finances, but it doesn't mean she's the man of the house kind of thing. But like in America back in the, I don't want to say the old days, but a few decades ago, it was usually the man that was in charge of the money stuff. So if we're going off of that aspect, well, I think we both kind of we kind of confer with each other who's going to spend what or what we're going to spend it on. And Brooklyn is Googling something.
I am looking. I want to know what the exact definition of wearing the pants in the family is. Because I want to get this. I'm just very curious.
I think it's the one that, like, makes all the decisions and does all the, like, manly stuff. Like,
Well, it says, okay, so this is the definition, and this is a definition, let me see here. I'm going to get it out of the free dictionary. This is www.idioms.thefreedictionary. So this is where the quote, "Wears the pants in the family." To have the greatest amount of authority or control in one's family. The phrase is often applied to a woman, contrasting the fact that the pants were historically only worn by men,
oh,
who were also traditionally the decision makers within the household.
yeah.
So, I mean,
So that was kind of our central. We're doing good on sticking on point with that, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. Now, I just was curious. I was like, where did it come from? Like, what in the world? Where did this? How did this start? Like, where do people get the?
The pants.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I got the whole idea that it guy, it was a guy thing, but I just didn't understand.
Fun fact, the pants, women wearing pants, was primarily due to bicycles. Women needed an attire other than a corset and a dress that you could hardly move in. And when bicycles came on the rise, pants came on the rise for us. And thus women began becoming equal.
Good job.
I like to ride my... Actually, I rode my rollerblades yesterday. It was a pretty pleasant ride. I was trying to complete a challenge in Pokemon Go, and I needed 3 more kilometers. So I hadn't skated in a while. I thought I was going to fall, but I did pretty good. Made it there, knocked out a gym, conquered the world one skate at a time. And Brooklyn is Googling something
No,
else.
I thought it'd be fun. When were the very first pants ever created?
In what country?
Ever? Like, when did you first see pants in history up here?
Back in... Well, actually, didn't men used to wear skirts and dresses and robes? I'm still wanting to say BC.
No, you're correct. It is BC. It's they said the pants were adapted by the Persians of modern Iran around the 5th century BC.
Oh,
So that was
wow.
quite some time ago.
Only 5 centuries before Christ, though. That's crazy. It took that long to make something that would protect your lower region from things a lot better.
And they said that a lot of people came over to the West, mostly America. Most of them didn't wear pants. And then it didn't become a thing until Western culture brought in equestrian warrior cultures from Asia, is what started creating more of a...
Which means horse battles.
Yeah.
Cavalry. Which is weird because, like, the Romans, they were really big, and the Egyptians on, like, their chariots and horses when, what was it, Augusta? Went and merged with them and the Romans showed the Egyptian, Alexandria. showed them our culture or their culture.
I never understood though the why would women not be allowed to wear pants though? What made
Because
it a men thing?
guys have a lot of hangups on things. You know, even today they do. A lot of guys, not all guys, of course, but it's usually because they're physically stronger. They get to assert whatever ideas they're wanting to assert to feel better that century.
But I mean, like, what is it about pants? I mean, what does it matter?
I don't
I mean,
know.
it's just
Like
pants.
Japan, it used to be like only men could make sushi, yet the women had to cook all kinds of other things. I'm like, really? Like, really? it's it's a pretty food, but you got to make it your own. Women can't do it. Like, I just I don't get it. I like tradition. It makes life fun. It makes it not so mundane. It's something to keep us connected to our roots and everything, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some things where I'm just like, live and let live. It's a sushi roll. Let whoever wants to make it make it. Let somebody wear pants.
Let them wear the pants in the family for a change.
Yeah.
Who else? What else is a big thing that would be considered wearing the pants in the family over time that
Mm,
has definitely changed a lot?
let's see.
I mean, obviously, leaving your house to
Yeah.
work has been like a big one. And that's something that I think, has changed, especially. I know it like became a huge thing after World War II.
Well,
So,
during World War II,
right, during World War II, and a lot of women stayed at their jobs, which was really nice.
for a lot less pay.
But they didn't wear the pants in the family still, did they?
Well, when the husbands were gone, they had to. They were the ones that had to discipline the kids while the husbands weren't able to come home and discipline them. So the kids started seeing their mothers as more of an authoritative figure, and I think that also helped get more equality and stuff for women,
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I think a lot of that probably really took off maybe in the 60s or 70s.
which would have been those kids. In the during World War II, those kids would have seen their mothers leading the way, going to work, disciplining, loving them. They were doing dual roles. I think, honestly, I think that was a big part of it.
Yeah.
Seeing that even little boys would see their mothers being able to do what daddy does or did while daddy was gone.
Yeah. It's too bad that there's still way too many people in this world that believe that it is still just a man's job. Just anything could be a man's job only. And I mean, you can say the same thing back the other way around. I mean, it's too bad that there's a lot of women out there that believe that they are the only ones that can do certain things.
Like cleaning. Yeah, I hear girls complain a lot that guys aren't very good at cleaning, which I do know that.
Are you complaining? Are you one of them?
I honestly, yeah. I mean, some guys are very, very good cleaners. Like, I knew some really good cleaners when I was in the military. But I think I don't know, I kind of feel like the scale is a little tilted on that one. But at the same time, more guys are usually better at physical things, like carrying heavy stuff. And it's more skilled for them because a lot of girls like to play dainty.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Do you think a lot of girls typically like the idea that they don't have to wear the pants in the family? Or do you believe
Mm,
that there are men out there that wish that they didn't have to wear the pants in the family?
those are those battles of, honestly, I feel like it comes down to the chemicals in your body. It's the testosterone, the estrogen, all the hormones. We don't even understand all of that. Yes, it is some sociology and our culture and how we were raised and what we were raised around. There are some cultures where women are the matriarchs and they're in charge of everything. So I honestly cannot speak for, I mean, I can't speak for the world because we're all very, very different.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like, going into different generations as we continue to move forward, there are a lot more men that do kind of like the idea of not having to have everything on their shoulders and want to share responsibility with their other halves, um, whether it be their wives or their husbands. or just their partners, and that they're not in control of everything. And I think maybe that feels pretty good to a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it goes both ways. Some guys want to be in charge, some girls want to be in charge. Some guys don't want to be in charge, some girls don't want to be in charge. Hopefully, we'll keep going to equality and everybody can either wear the pants or not wear the pants if they don't want to or want to.
Did you ever have a point where in your life you're like, I'm going to be, when I get married, I'm going to be the one that has the pants on in the family?
No, I think my mother is a very strong person and I honestly believe she was the pants wearer. My dad was the one that went to work all the time, but he also deployed all the time. And my mom was the one that was home with us. Actually, I'm a prime example of seeing my mother be the one in charge of everything. And me being a girl, I think I kind of looked up to her a lot and I joined the military and I've been a manager before and I've been in charge of people before and maybe I just kind of come naturally to it and maybe I do kind of enjoy it cuz I don't know. I like to sit back and watch people do things, but I don't know, I like rounding up people and motivating them and getting stuff done.
You know, it's interesting. Before I came out as trans, I definitely had relationships um, with other girls, and I felt like some of my relationships there were definitely points where I was the one that wore the pants in the family, of course, and it's kind of nice knowing that, you know, somebody comes to me and looks up to me, even if it's just your spouse. And I don't know if that's a genetic thing, having like the male parts that I do in my brain. Um, but it's it's something that I enjoyed, but it's also something that I love that I don't have to do anymore all the time. That I do have somebody that wants to take control of situations, and that you are interested in doing some of the work. You're interested in doing some of the hardcore stuff. You want to get your hands dirty. You want to do some of the punishing for the kids that need to be done. You want to do the things, some of the big decisions, and I can sit back and not have to worry about it as much.
Yeah, we definitely I don't know. Our relationship, I think it comes down to a personal thing, but we do a really good job of kind of just
Balancing. We're good at
yeah,
balancing.
whoever feels it more naturally, it kind of just flows into who's gonna like lead in this certain area.
And I think that's how a relationship should be. Um, wherever your strong points are, um, wherever your trying to figure out where I'm going with this. Wherever your strong points are, wherever your feelings are towards whatever you're working on, your strengths. I guess it's also strong points. Um,
Yeah. Um yeah, and if you can't find that space, but you really love someone and care for someone, then I mean there's times where we both kind of want to lead and take charge on something and there's times where neither of us want to, but you kind of just got to love whoever you're with enough and be like, "Hey, I really feel this way, you really feel this way. Like what can we do to
compromise.
yeah, like sometimes maybe just give up and be like, you know what, you go ahead and do it. I don't need it that bad. Or sometimes just be like, let's do it a little bit your way, and then we'll do it a little bit this way and see if maybe that's a good idea.
That's a good point. So I think it comes down to we get back to our original question: who wears the pants in the family? I don't see one wearing the pants more than the other, but we definitely are lucky enough to be able to share that responsibility pretty equally.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think we both at times do forget that it's okay to share the responsibility, but in the end of the day, we both take that role on pretty nicely, fortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't have ladies' days like I do, so when I really want those pants days, at least we don't have two people really wanting those pants days at the same time. That definitely helps.
I bet it does.
That's one nice perk to our
However,
relationship.
however, I wish I did. Wish I had that ability, but that's okay.
I keep telling her she's very, very lucky not to, but I understand she wants the full package.
I do. It would be nice.
If I could give it to you, I would.
I'd love to wear a cis lady pants any day of the week. There's that laugh again. Did you all hear it?
No. Why? Um, so, yeah, that is the whole pants discussion. If you guys have questions, I guess just hit us up on our Facebook page when a gay girl meets a trans girl, and we'll answer some more of those questions on our next session. Or maybe we'll chat with you on Facebook, whichever we come to first. Or if it's a really interesting topic, then we might make it a whole nother subject on here, another segment.
Yeah, we'd love to hear what other people, especially ones that have similar situations,
Yeah.
um, cis male, cis with that's with a cis male.
Or cis male with a trans male.
There you go. Hey, opposite of what we are right here. Um,
I actually don't know anyone in that situation. I have a few friends that are trans males that have said that they were gay before they knew they were trans, but then after they started the hormones, they actually found themselves becoming attracted to cis males. But that's another subject that I'd love to talk to someone with that is in that situation.
yeah. So just leave some comments in our on our Facebook page. We'd love to get kind of a discussion going on that. Let us know what you think. Let us know what situations you're in. I'd like to hear whether or not you feel like you wear the pants in the family. Do you like wearing the pants in the family? Do you prefer your other half wearing the pants in the family? Do you like the fact that they wear the pants in the family? I mean,
Yeah.
it could go anywhere with it, and I would love to see what everybody's ideas are. And it's like Holly said, we could touch back on it a little bit later and
Or
kind
if you
of.
just want to vent about it, we'll totally listen. And we'll try to
Yes,
help you.
definitely. You can vent all you want. Just go on and on and on. Write a paragraph, but we'll be there for you.
Yeah, we got you.
Well, we that is it for this segment. We are going to go ahead and move on to our next segment here.
Which, after talking about it, we're going to kind of crunch it down, not make it into so many segments. I kind of would like to keep a game segment and then just talking about, I don't know, whatever nerdy.
Yeah, I mean, we have some ideas here.
Alrighty, well, we'll get back to you. Alright, so we're back. So I want to talk about, since we are a gay girl and a trans girl, I wanted to, I guess, kind of bring it back home with the nerdiness to the gayness. So I think I'm going to recommend games that have some homosexuality in them because it's kind of nice to see like ourselves in things and know that we're not as taboo and that people do see us as just like everybody else.
Now, is this homosexuality in the game, or is this the creators of the game that are
In the game.
in the game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is also good. That way, like, if you guys need some comfort or something, I don't know, you can play the game and kind of get to enjoy playing a little bit more as you, which, I don't know, just relating to it kind of feels nice and makes you happier. But the first game I wanted to do was Stardew Valley, which I don't know how you wouldn't have heard of it if you're a gamer, but if you haven't, Stardew Valley, if you've ever played Harvest Moon, it was a farming game and you kind of get to know everybody in your town and then you build up those friendships and relationships, and if you're a guy, you had to marry a girl. But Stardew Valley has it so if you're a guy, you can actually get to know guys and form relationships with them, or if you're girls, you can form relationships with some of the girls, and then you eventually can get married if you want to, and you can actually have kids even in a same-sex relationship, and you can just raise them like it's a happy little family.
Yeah, that game, Stardew Valley is actually one that you got me into a few years back. I didn't get to play it too much. I know that I have children that are,
I got them into Stardew Valley.
yes, they are playing it just because of her. I know Tatum likes to play it a lot because of her, and this is the game where she names her chickens
All the kids.
after all the kids. So there's a little Carson chicken, a little Caleb chicken, a little Jaden chicken, a little Tatum chicken.
Yeah.
All four of my little ones. But it reminded me a lot of Animal Crossing, which was another game she got me into. I'm typically not somebody that plays these kind of games where you have the. Um, it's not really. What is that level of play?
Like life sim.
Well, it's more of where you are cropped from the top of the world and you kind of watch like a huge map and you play it. I don't
Third
know.
person.
Is it more third
It's
person?
bird eye view.
Yes, that kind of view.
Mm-hmm.
So it runs along that same kind of view that Animal Crossing does. It definitely has a lot more detail. There's a lot more stories to it. Um, she talked about that game involving a you were married at one point to a character that ended up being the town drunk, I think.
Oh God, yeah, that game it takes you on a journey. You really get to know people. Yes, I married the drunk because in our relationship I thought he was changing and becoming some changed person that overcame his traumas from his past. And then while we were married, I started finding muddy footprints in my house. He'd be passed out in the middle of the night, drunk by the fridge, just on the floor with the fridge open. He wouldn't help me with my chickens. He wouldn't help tend my farm. I'm not going to tell you who it is because if you play it, I don't want to spoil it.
So you definitely wore the pants in the family on that game, right?
I had to. Oh, I had to. Oh, that was awful. But you can get divorced. So I actually never divorced him. I just started a new game. Yeah.
So in some alternate world, you guys are still married, and he's still passing out on the floor, and
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so we actually played together and we were living together in Stardew Valley. So we were in a homosexual relationship in real life and in our game. So it's always really fun to do that, of course. Have your little farm life together.
So did you ever end up? You ended up going back and playing another game.
Yeah.
And did you end up marrying a girl in another one, or did you still marry a guy?
No, I married Penny. Penny is the sweet little librarian girl. Now there is another character, Leah, and she very openly is gay, and she got out of a relationship with another girl. She definitely acts like that artsy lesbian. Like they nailed her perfectly.
Is she considered butch?
No, she's not butch.
No.
She's got long hair. She dresses pretty girly. I mean, not super girly, but she's just that artsy lesbian you see in a lot of the indie movies. So if you want that one, that's the one to go for.
And you've only married the one girl.
Penny?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about Abigail, but I'm like, I don't know. You like to eat rocks. You have to give them things that they like, and I would give her amethyst, and she eats it.
So can you marry anyone you want, or do they have to actually present themselves as gay at some point in the game?
No. Some people you can't marry because they're already married or they're not eligible to be married. Like Pam, you can't marry her, and you can't marry anyone that's already married. But of the eligible bachelors and bachelorettes, you can marry whoever you want.
So is this a game that you're still playing right now?
Not right now. I got back into it a few months ago for a very long time. I was trying to get a dinosaur, and I don't know.
You were trying to get a dinosaur.
You can hatch a dinosaur from your chicken eggs. It's very rare. I did it in the game where I was married to the town drunk.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is one of the games you'd highly recommend then.
Yeah, if you want to enjoy a live sim and actually get to be gay, like instead of a lot of the other games where you have to be hetero, which a lot of games are starting to move forward now, but I just wanted to name one for someone to try if they haven't tried it yet.
How long's the game been out?
Ooh, it's been out for a handful of years now. I was back in my old apartment when that game came out. I think it was 2016. Let me check.
Do they still continue to make updates on it as an ongoing game?
They did. Yeah, it came out in 2016. Dang, I got a good memory. The publisher was Concerned Ape. Oh, and also Chucklefish. But I remember seeing the little chuckle blowfish on the beginning of the screen. The updates, actually, I don't think they do them anymore.
Are they planning any kind of sequel or anything like that, or is it just...
Yeah, so Concerned Ape was like a this game was I forgot what they're called. It was one of those like passion games where you create it purely for his love of like Harvest Moon and stuff like that. But they're still updating it. It's not huge. Looks like they're going to add more modding stuff. And as for Stardew Valley 2, I don't have any idea. Oh wait, yeah, they're doing a second one. It's that chocolate factory thing, I think.
So it's a chocolate factory that you're playing in?
Kind of. It's going to be more like I think like Halloween kind of, like haunted with candy factory, Willy Wonka, not Willy Wonka, but you know.
That seems like a good game that anybody would want to get into, especially if they're wanting to play a character that they can be open in and they can run around the world in and not have to worry about um, any kind of consequences, real life consequences, or anything like that.
Yeah, that's actually very true. You don't have to worry about people hating you for being gay. Like everybody in that game just kind of loves you and they don't even like think of you as anything different. You're just another happy couple with a family. So that's actually a really good point. Reason to play that game.
Yeah. It's a fun game, so I definitely recommend it. What platform is it on?
It's on like everything: Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile.
So go out, go check out that game. I personally recommend it too. It's not one that I've gotten to play a whole lot of, but it's definitely a game that I consider to be pretty fun to get into. Um, but moving on. So back this last week, we didn't end up getting to talk about this. Do you know what October 11th is, Miss Holly?
National Coming Out Day.
Are you sure? Did you come out on October 11th?
No.
Well, you're right. It is. It was actually established by the LGBT community so that people can really express who they are. They can, come out, and that's going to be the day that they set for themselves as, them being free, them coming out of the closet, them opening up to the world. Do you know when it was started by chance?
I have no idea.
It was started in 1988. That was the first anniversary of the Second National March on Washington for lesbian and gay rights in 1987. So that's
Wasn't that around the wall? That was the wall, right? The German wall? It was after that, right? Or during that.
when during the Berlin Wall when it
Yeah.
came down.
Wasn't that the big movement for gays? It was right around there, wasn't it?
That I don't know.
Pretty sure. We'll have to fact check that.
Something you have to look into.
Yeah. So, did you guys do anything fun to celebrate National Coming Out Day? I wish we didn't have to celebrate that day, but it is always kind of good to know that we're progressing, and that's what you got to focus on.
Yes. But that's another conversation I'd like to have on Facebook. So if you did anything, if you did anything around your town, maybe you went out to some kind of LGBTQ club or a bar, and maybe there was a big party. Maybe you guys did something with friends or with family. Um, just let us know. Get on Facebook. Let us know what you ended up doing to celebrate the day that you came out, or maybe you celebrated with somebody, a friend or a family member that came out for the very first time. We would definitely like you to put that on Facebook because I think our next discussion is going to be based around coming out for the very first time and what it was like for both of us. So if anyone has any questions, if anyone wants to know what we felt, what we thought, that maybe you have questions that we may not naturally come up with for ourselves, we would love to hear those from you. So if you want to get on our Facebook, let us know what questions you have for us for our next podcast.
Yeah. When a gay girl meets a trans girl, just go look at it and ask anything you want to, mention anything. We'll take a look and we'll try to address it.
We'll do our best to answer your questions.
Yeah. Try to share some of us with you.
Well, thank you all for spending this time with us. We are going to be making these a little bit shorter than before, than our first episode. Just as we play around with this, we're going to continue to tweak it a little bit, add a little bit, take out a little bit, just kind of make things a little bit more fun for everyone.
Yeah, come enjoy this journey with us as we start to develop this. You'll get to see what we do. You can even recommend, like, hey, I really liked when you did that, or hey, I didn't like when you did that. We'll really form a new gay community.
Yes. Maybe we all can meet someday. Well, thanks again for coming.
Thank you guys.
We'll see you next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on our show. Don't forget to check out our other shows wherever podcasts are available. And if you're in the position to help our podcast grow, please join us at patreon.com/ggirltgirl.com and check out our Facebook page for more updates and messages at gaygirl/transgirl. And if you're joining us here from YouTube, please hit that like button and subscribe. Thank you.